So we have a Celestron Astromaster eyepiece kit here. Let me open it up for you. In the kit we have a microfiber cloth, 3 filters, a 50mm eyepiece, a 2x Barlow, and a 6mm eyepiece. We'll keep that aside. So in the eyepiece lineup we have so we'll start with the 15mm. So the 15mm is the basic eyepiece for normal astronomy, for wide field viewing, because the lower the number on the eyepiece, the wider the field of view you have. If you can look at the diameter of the aperture of the lens we have here, it's pretty big. So the 15mm eyepiece with my telescope gives 650 by 15 approximately. I don't know how much magnification we get, but it's a wide field eyepiece. The next eyepiece we have, I mean, it's pretty confined to these two eyepieces when it comes to viewing. So this is the 6mm, which gives us a little over 100 times magnification, but the actuality is, you can see how small the lens on this is, so you get a very narrow field of view, and you cannot actually see any object for long, because my telescope is a telescope which is not tracking any object. I'll just cover it up because I'd rather not have dust on that. Now comes the magic of my eyepiece, this eyepiece kit. This is the 2x Barlow. The Celestron has provided a 2x Barlow, which will give you twice the focal length. Now this has a myriad of uses. Okay, so this can attach to your T-ring, and while attaching to a T-ring, a T-ring is an attachment which goes in your camera. So if you attach it to the T-ring, you get a 2x magnification. What that means is your focal plane, the focal plane comes somewhere around here where the camera sensor will lie. So it is a problem in smaller budget telescopes, that you cannot actually gain focus on the focal plane because it is so it is inside the focuser, so the sensor cannot go inside the focuser, and this helps out in that. So that is another prospect of using this. The other prospect is it gives you twice the magnification. What you do is you take your eyepiece, whatever it is. Now imagine the focal length of any telescope is, say, 1000 mm. So now the focal length of the telescope is 2000 mm, because this is a 2x Barlow. It's a focal reducer. So it increases. Okay, that sounds a little counterintuitive, that a focal reducer increases the focal length, but it's okay. I think I got it. So as I was talking, so what it does is it increases the focal length of the telescope, the actual telescope, and it's a pretty handy tool. You can actually get very sharp and a wide field of view having a greater magnification with a 15mm eyepiece like this. So you use this in attachments. Now comes the last but not least, the filters. The filters in this kit, you get a moon filter, a blue filter, and a red filter. So what these filters do is they block out the excess light, or they allow a very specific band of light, a specific wavelength of light through, so you can see the details in that. The moon filter, on the other hand, is a highly polarized glass piece. It actually blocks out a lot of that bright light. When the moon is full, you cannot actually look at it through the telescope because it's very bright. So what you do is you attach it to your eyepiece. You have these grooves inside the eyepiece to which you can thread this on. You can, now the eyepiece is what would you call it, moon ready. See, you can see it's written moon here. So yeah, so this is the moon filter. Apart from the moon filter, we have a blue filter and a red filter. Now, a blue filter like this will block out much of the detail of planets like Jupiter, the Mars, and other objects. It will block out the excess light. It will allow the colors to show up, so that the same goes for the red filter. The red filter is pretty. The thing with the red filter is pretty dark, and with the telescope of my aperture, I cannot actually use the red filter in much of the objects except from Venus and sometimes Jupiter. So yeah, there is the overall review and the overall things you get in the Astromaster kit. Now this kit retails for, I don't know, 8,000 rupees here in India, but I don't know if you can get it anymore because I had trouble finding it back in the day when I bought a telescope. By the way, my telescope is Astromaster 130. So yeah, there you go, the Astromaster kit. Bye.